This meeting will come to order. Pleased to have so many smiling faces and guests with us tonight. We're not used to a crowded boardroom like this on a regular basis, but we're awfully pleased to have everybody. Again, welcome to the March 19th Rutherford County School Board meeting. Tonight, of course, we have several honored guests, but we have leading our pledge tonight, former board chairman Rick Wise, now Smyrna City Councilman, principal, teacher, coach, I'm not sure of, troublemaker, okay. But if you would rise and join the board in the pledge. I believe this is your first visit to the boardroom since since you left the board, and thank you for your years and years of service, Mr. Wise, Chairman Wise. If you would join the board in a moment of silence, please. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will move on to, we had a board work session last evening, so a lot of things that we will discuss tonight, we've had discussion in detail with, but we'll continue to see if there's any further questions. First, approval of the agenda. Motion by Mr. Hodge. Was there a second by Ms. Moore? Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Okay. Approval of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Mr. Young.
Second.
Second by Mr. Estes. Any further discussion? Again, quite a bit of discussion last evening. Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And Ms. Joyce, no visitors. Good. Mr. Odom, number 7.
Number seven is the presentation of United Way Award, and this occurred today. We did not know this last night, so Mr. James Evans is going to come up and tell us the award that the school system received this morning.
Yes, Mr. Odom is correct. This morning we learned the United Way had a community celebration breakfast at 7:30 this morning, and we found out that our school system it was one of the top 10 campaigns for the campaign this year between Rutherford County and Cannon County. We received this very nice trophy or plaque, whatever you want to call it, to commemorate that. But we also found out that there were only 4. They have a new award this year that's called a Platinum Award. And we were one of only 4 organizations that received one of those, and it's a similar trophy. And our schools, we also had 3 schools that received best school campaigns, and Ms. Nichols is here, Ms. Dana Nichols. Her school was one of them. Christiana Middle School was the best middle school, and Smyrna High School was the best high school. And I want to emphasize Smyrna High School because for years they've been the second best high school campaign. They've been working very hard to get number 1, and this year they beat Blackman, and they did that. They were very proud of that. They worked very hard for it. So just wanted to thank them for what they've done, but also tell you some about the partnership that we have with United Way. It's definitely a two-way partnership. This year we had our best campaign ever. We raised $152,000 as a school system and some change, which is the highest total we've ever received. But our schools also got a lot out of that as well. Our clothing fund received $27,000 this year from United Way as a grant. to support part of our clothing fund that buys clothes for kids who don't have clothes, their parents don't have enough money to buy basic necessities. And we are able to provide them with a new set of clothes at no cost to them. And we serve just over 300 students so far this year. We also, a number of our schools, our elementary schools, benefited from a program called the United Way Hometown Huddle, which is where several playgrounds got renovated this past fall with new paint and mulch and some other kind of minor repairs. The principals were very grateful. It cost them nothing but the activity of hosting the teams that came out from various businesses throughout the county. We also participated in Stuff the Bus this year, and we received about 1,000 backpacks full of supplies that were handed out at the beginning of the school year. And then Days of Action is coming up in a couple of weeks, and several of our schools are going to be recipients of volunteer efforts to just do various projects around our school. So it's an ongoing partnership. Mr. Odom allows me to use part of my time to maintain that partnership, but we are seeing some positive dividends from it. But any questions?
Just congratulations and thank you for spearheading this initiative, and so many of our principals and some teachers and certainly students that have been involved. Matter of fact, if we could, let's congratulate you and your effort and everybody else.
One other point, because I want to make sure that the employees are getting their credit. We had 50% participation this year as a district. That's the highest we've ever had, and that's one of the things that qualified us for the Platinum Award. And our average gift per employee was $35 this year, which is amazing. So just a big round of applause for the employees, too. Thank you.
Certainly have to make you proud, Mr. Odom, that you're...
You know, I was involved when I was in attendance with the clothing and all for students in schools, so we've had a relationship with United Way a long time, but Mr. Evans has brought it to a new level, you know, with his overseeing it. But it's about the kids, again, that we have, and it's about the teachers and the administrators that I see all around this room today that really got behind the drive and made it for Rutherford County. But it's great to be one of the first Platinum Award recipients. I mean, that speaks very highly for us.
Any other board members? Okay. Again, congratulations. I guess we'll move on to number 8, Mr. Odom.
Number 8A is our Student Art Showcase. And in recognition of National Youth Art Month, student artwork is on display at the Board of Education Central Office. The artwork is representative of the 46 schools and K-12 students in our school system. And Ms. Paula Barnes is going to be, she heads this up for us, and it was her concept idea a few years ago, and sure has helped the central office and our looks and our feel for the building. Ms. Barnes, thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. We love the month of March. We love bringing in our student artwork and displaying this enormous gift that our students have and share with us. So as Mr. Odom said, March is National Student Art Month, and one thing we like to do is display student artwork in our central office for the period of 1 year. Our process is that we coordinate with our art teachers, and if I could ask them, Mr. Odom, at this time to stand so we could recognize our art teachers, or wave if you're standing over. Because they graciously work within our perimeters that we give them to provide us with artwork that fits our frames and fits our podiums, and sends us their selections each year to leave on display. And then at the end of the year, we rotate those out, we give them back so the parents can then hang them in their homes, and we bring in a new artwork each year. So when the walls are bare during the month of January and February, we definitely recognize that it's gone, and we look forward to those new pieces of artwork to come in. So at this time, we'd like to recognize the students whose artwork is on display in our office, and I'm going to call their names and their school and their grade, and I'll ask for the students to come to the front and stand in front of the board tables facing out to the parents, and we'll get very crowded up here, so work together, tall ones in the back, short ones in the front, and we'll spread all the way out. And then Mr. Evans will take a group picture before we dismiss. So if we'll work together on this, if you're ready. From Barfield Elementary School, Kaylee Romans, grade 3, and we'll ask to hold our applause till the end if you don't mind, because we have several names. From Blackman Elementary School, Samoya Lewis, grade 4. From Blackman High School, Jessica Reed, grade 12. If you're here, come up. Okay, there we go. Just go right to the table and put your back to the table. Back, there you go. From Blackman High School, Useab Lee, grade 12. From Blackman Middle School, Mati Sapansiri, grade 8. From Blackman Middle School, Samantha Clark, grade 8. From Browns Chapel Elementary School, Landon Cantrell, grade 4. From Buchanan Elementary School, Jalen Kamsava, grade 4. Cedar Grove Elementary School, Travis Wheeler, grade 2. Central Magnet School, Beth Anderson, grade 10. Central Magnet School, Catherine Rainey, grade 8. Christiana Elementary School, Olivia Helton, grade 5. Christiana Middle School, Alyssa Reinhardt, grade 6. David Urey Elementary School, Elizabeth Kuta, grade 5. Eagleville School, Hayden Nance, grade 4. Homer Pittard Campus School, Grayson Flowers, grade 1. John Coleman Elementary School, Layla Al-Sharifi, grade 5, and I apologize if I'm doing something terrible to your names. I'm trying my best, I promise. Kittrell Elementary School, Cammie Burton, grade 5. Las Casas Elementary School, Haley West, grade 4. Laverne High School, Angelica Valencia, grade 12. Laverne Lake Elementary School, Kyler King, grade 4. Laverne Middle School, Betsy Gutierrez, grade 7. Laverne Primary School, Malaysia Manir, grade kindergarten. McFadden School, Olivia Call, grade 1. McFadden School, Shelby Clark, grade 4. You know what? You look, come up here and stand right in front of one of these tall girls. You guys help us out, all right? Oakland High School, Deja Daniels, grade 12. That's fine. Just put yourself right in there. Oakland High School, Katie Henry, grade 12. Oakland Middle School, Garrett Todd, grade 7. Riverdale High School, Alex Schrock, grade 12. Riverdale High School, Amiri Thaxter, grade 12. Riverdale High School, Meredith Rice, grade 10. And Riverdale High School, Olivia Riddell, grade 12. Rock Springs Elementary School, Casey Jones, grade 5. Rock Springs Middle School, Zion Johnson, grade 8. Rock Springs Middle School, Alina Miller, grade 7. Rockville Elementary School, Haley Rowland, grade 3. Haley, come down on this end for me, okay? There you go, thank you. Rockville Middle School, Lauren Enroth, grade 7. Rockville Middle, Frances Cheney, grade 8. Y'all remember you're on TV, okay? So you need to smile, all right? Don't be scared. You can go home and watch this for the next week. Roy Waldron Elementary School, Marista Castillo, grade 2nd or grade 2. Siegel High School, Abby Martin, grade 12. Siegel High School, Cameron Jones, grade 10. Siegel Middle School, Asma Mohammed, grade 8. Smyrna Elementary School, Layla Cabrera, grade 3. Smyrna High School, Haley Villarreal, grade 11. Smyrna High School, Cody Bastian, grade 10. Smyrna Middle School, Cambria Hollinsworth, grade 8. Smyrna Middle School, Carla Barisian, grade 8. Smyrna Primary, Holly Lapka, grade 5. Stewart's Creek Elementary School, McKenna Smith, grade 5. Stewart's Creek High School, Abby Ward, grade 11. Stewart's Creek Middle, Selena Dungsay, grade 8. Stewartsboro Elementary, Eileen Fajardo, grade 2. Stewartsboro Elementary, Anjou Beard, grade 5. Thurman Francis Arts Academy, Troy Hayes, grade 4. Thurman Francis Academy, Lydia Davis, grade 8. That's good right there. Plug yourself right in. Walter Hill Elementary, Sina Mitchell, kindergarten. Whitworth Buchanan Middle School, Carolyn Thomas, grade 8. And Wilson Elementary School, Olivia Stegall, grade 4. Now, you guys don't move because we're going to let your parents have a photo op here, okay? Why don't y'all kind of pull the, let's give them a round of applause. You know how you do when you take class pictures, scrunch in. Come on, come on. Little ones in front of the big ones. Y'all come on in. Make sure you can see. Put yourself where you can see. Okay, make sure you can see out there. All right.
Look like you. I don't want to get in anybody's way.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Ooh, okay.
All right, stay put for just 1 second. I think the board may make some comments, but in just a moment, we're going to release everybody to tour the facility so that you can all see all of the artwork that's on display and take your parents, of course, to your artwork piece and just admire all the wonderful artwork. So parents, we're very proud of your children. We're very proud of our teachers for instructing our students in this wonderful artwork they brought on display for us. So thank you all very much. And we're going to give a round of applause to everybody at this time.
Just a reminder, once again, Rutherford County Cable TV and also on YouTube. If you cannot get it, it will be posted on YouTube. So you can save a permanent copy if you would like, or you cannot pick it up on your cable channel.
Board members, any comments? I'll just say, Ms. Barnes, there's incredible amount of talent, and for someone who doesn't have an artistic bone, this is pretty impressive to see all you young people. So thank you, and continue to grow that talent, please. Board members will be taking about 4 or 5 minute recess. So you can leave your seat. I took after Terry because Terry used to do this all the time.
Bottleneck there.
What?
Got a little bit of a bottleneck there.
It's safe. Yeah, technology is a wonderful thing, but having hard print is certainly beneficial.
Our preacher uses an iPad in his quick. He actually did pretty good.
Not yours.
And you could tell he was insecure.
Oh, Matthew's the younger one, John, I think.
Not of no help to me at all. Get me back tab 1. I was doing just fine, and then all of a sudden, boom, I'm sure I hit the wrong thing. Just get me back to where that little thing. Back in session, and we'll now move to 8B.
Okay, 8B, school social workers. That school social workers work primarily with our special populations group, among other things for Rutherford County Schools. But it's a group that really doesn't get a lot of attention sometimes in our education world, but are critical to helping our families and our students achieve. Sometimes the things that impact student learning or achievement of students are factors that are beyond the school, and other things and resources that these people, these ladies, bring to bear for those families. They're a real helping hand to us. I'm not going to steal your thunder. Lynn Farrell, would you come up, please, and take that? Miss Shirley Bell's going to do it for us, okay?
First of all, I would like to thank the board tonight for allowing us to be part of the Education Spotlight. As Mr. Odom said, the school social workers are part of the special ed department. We have 9 outstanding school social workers. I would compare them to anyone in the state of Tennessee. They're awesome. They do a lot of work. They go above and beyond the daily duties required of them. They work with all 46 schools. They work with all students with special education needs, and they also work with all at-risk students. So again, we thank you, and I'm going to turn it over to our lead social worker.
Thank you for your time this evening. My name is Lynn Farrell, and I have the privilege of working with these amazing young women, and I want to introduce them to you at this time. Angela Allison, Stephanie Bennett, Amanda Landrum, Allison Lewis, Lou Pascal, Sidonia Thompson, Eileen Woodside, and last but not least, Tracy Wise, and she is going to share a little bit about what our day might look like.
You know, another thing these do, when you see the Special Olympics, and we go to MTSU for the Special Olympics, these people have played a huge factor in organizing and putting that together. So I want to give them credit for that. You probably were not going to include that in your presentation, but you do. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to draw attention to this quote on the slide. There we go. I cannot teach the head when the heart is broken or the mind is troubled. And these words come from a teacher in St. Louis, Missouri, who, like so many others, have recognized the importance of addressing students' physical, social, and emotional needs before being able to effectively teach them. Many in education recognize the need for school social workers, but nationwide, 1 in 5 children have a diagnosable mental disorder in any given year. And the magnitude of this statistic has been felt by schools everywhere, as school tragedies like Sandy Hook have become more commonplace, unfortunately. In addition to widespread mental health issues, lower socioeconomic levels also identify those at higher risk for a heart that is broken or a mind that is troubled. In Rutherford County, we are not exempt from this prevalent reality either, as approximately 42% of our students qualify for the free and reduced lunch program. And while we believe that all students can benefit, regardless of mental health history and socioeconomic level, from school social work services, it is at this intersection of mental health and poverty where we are largely needed. So we school social workers consider ourselves to be the vital link between a child's home, school, and community. Our goal is to improve students' quality of functioning in all settings so that they might see and achieve academic success. We operate in the school setting with 3 fundamental concepts in mind, which I'm going to tell you just a little bit about. First of all, we uphold social work's core values, which are service, social justice, the dignity and worth of every person, the importance of human relationships, integrity, and competence. Next, we also approach our job with a strengths-based perspective. That is a way of working with our clients where the focus is more on their strengths, abilities, and potential rather than their problems, deficits, and pathologies. We believe that by doing this, we increase our chances of empowering to reach their goals and fulfill their dreams. And thirdly, our purpose is driven by systems theory, which explores that an individual is shaped by a complex network of multiple smaller systems in which they operate, such as their home, their work environment, peers, the community they live in, their culture, their values, and their belief system. Each system affects the rest as they are interconnected and they intricately depend on one another. So it's through these main concepts that the role of school social worker is formed. But also in looking at Rutherford County Schools' mission, vision, and beliefs, we find that what Rutherford County Schools desires to achieve and what we school social workers offer is a highly compatible match. In the Rutherford County Schools mission statement, which I know you all are familiar with, it's clear that empowering today's students to grasp tomorrow's opportunities is something that we social workers support and can get behind. Likewise, when you look at our vision, school social workers are an instrumental tool which Rutherford County Schools uses to provide students with the knowledge and skills to become citizens who can adapt to meet the challenges of tomorrow. And lastly, in the Rutherford County beliefs, we clearly see our role in the tangible expression of all of these But we particularly resonate with these three, which are on the slide, which promote individual student success, providing a safe and nurturing environment, and collaboration between parents, school, and the community as a vital component of success. And even in the new implementation of RTI Squared, school social workers, we're already discovering our niche within this process. We find ourselves intervening and eliminating barriers in the lives of students who are not showing progress in tiers 2 and 3. So it's without a doubt that school social workers are not only in solidarity with the overall mission, vision, beliefs, and tasks of Rutherford County Schools, we are actively helping to achieve them. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we are available to serve any of our 5,491 individual special education students and their families. And a student's need for social work services may come to our attention through the referral of a teacher, a guidance counselor, support staff, or an administrator. In addition to serving this specific population, we also impact countless others through school and community events and our services, such as the annual Child Find early preschool screening, Special Olympics, assisting with the delivery of food boxes to our Atlas students, providing training and in-service opportunities for teachers and staff, being a resource and support for special education and general education teachers, assisting our RTI teams, and providing an online community resource database, which in a given month may receive about 230 site visits. So we're making innovative efforts to document our services provided, and we really hope to have more specific data for you in the coming years. But so far, according to our data collection methods, in any given month, non-school social workers can make approximately 1,600 student-specific contacts. And a contact, as you see, can include a home visit, an IEP meeting, a consultation with a teacher, contacts with community agencies, parent communication, individual or group counseling, and coordinating other services such as preschool, occupational therapy, physical therapy, vision, hearing, or transition services. On this next slide, you'll see Maslow's hierarchy of needs, something with which you may or may not be familiar with. Abraham Maslow is an American psychologist who believed that all people are driven by 5 sets of motivational needs. The needs on the lower hierarchies must be met before any needs on a higher level can even be thought of as important and worth pursuing by that individual. So education falls within the highest category on the pyramid, self-actualization. We believe it's our job as school social workers to help our children fulfill and meet their needs on all other levels so that they might focus and see the value in education, problem solving, and critical thinking. So we thought it might be best to show you this with a few video clips we put together. These are just a few of our personal stories of how these needs have been met.
Hi, my name is Amanda Landrum. I've been a social worker with Rutherford County Schools for 11 years. As a part of our job as school social workers is to provide basic needs such as shelter, food, clothing, and health care. For instance, I had received a phone call from a teacher regarding a student that had been sleeping a lot in class and never having his homework. I called his mother to discuss this issue with her, and after speaking with her, I learned that she and her husband and the child had been sleeping in a car in the Nissan parking lot for over a month. After I spoke with her, I was able to get her a couple of hotel vouchers that she was able to stay and get a good night's sleep and able to get homework done. And within 2 weeks, we had that family into permanent housing. And after that, the kid was able to have a good night's sleep every night, have a place to do his homework, and now is a very successful student.
This next video is how a need was met on a child's safety and security.
Hi, my name is Eileen Woodside. I'm one of the school social workers with Rutherford County Schools. Most of my schools are high schools. As a school social worker, we help remove barriers that help prevent kids from learning and from graduating. One of the stories I'd like to share with you is a student that came to school and said that she was going to have to drop out of school 3 months shy of graduating. The reason was that she was the mother of a 4-year-old. Previously, her parent helped raise her child and was no longer going to be able to or willing to. It was a safety issue. She had no one to watch her child at home, and she was going to have to drop out of school to watch her child. What I help do is help find a place at Head Start, and we found a position for the child to be in. We help find transportation for the child to attend Head Start, and so the child was going to be safe in that environment, and our student was able to focus on graduating, attending school, and so that her child was in a safe place, she was in a safe place. And I'm happy to report a year after graduating, she is on her own, has a full-time job. Her child is in kindergarten now and is doing very well.
This next video is how a need was met on the love and belonging level.
Hi, I'm Angela Allison, one of Rutherford County's school social workers. Part of my job is to work with students in behavior intervention classrooms. Once a student is in a behavior intervention classroom, they receive at least 30 minutes a week of counseling. These services could be on an individual basis or a group basis. I have several different groups at several of my schools. The groups can consist of topics such as anger management, self-esteem, hygiene, promoting oneself, goal setting, and I have a group for students on their way to high school to promote them and be able to kind of self-advocate for themselves. I try to make sure that I have an open door relationship with my students, so even if I've seen them for their 30 minutes a week, if I'm in their building, I make sure they know if they need to talk to me about anything, they can come in. I like to build these relationships because to me that's the most important thing. If a student feels secure, they feel like they have a safe place to go, then they're going to be more successful academically.
And then finally, this last video is how we meet needs, again, on love and belonging level, but also for self-esteem.
I'm Allison Lewis, and I feel like school social workers are a meaningful support in student achievement. We're able to help students recognize their worth and value and guide them toward a sense of belonging in order to improve their overall performance. My first year at the county, I had a student I was working with in the 8th grade, and she always was very resistant to come and work with me and had very challenging behaviors, and but we continued to work together for the rest of the school year, and she moved away after that and went to high school. But it was years later that I had an email from her, and she wanted me to know what she was doing, and a big part of the email was to tell me that she was sorry for not being respectful all the time to me, or for acting like she didn't care about the things that we were talking about. And she wanted me to know that she was listening and she appreciated everything I had done for her, and I didn't give up on her, and she wanted me to know what she was doing with her future and what her goals were. And so that was a really good thing, even years later, not knowing that I had affected her in such a way that she took the time to let me know that. So this intervention that we provide is very important to students.
So whether it be Maslow or that teacher in St. Louis, Missouri, or us non-school social workers, many have seen firsthand students who cannot focus in the classroom due to things that they experience before or after school hours. We school social workers believe that we have the knowledge, the resources, and the skills necessary to help address these obstacles. We consider ourselves to be partners with educators, and because Rutherford County Schools recognizes this, we are able to have a special role in collaboration in our schools. So we hope that this has given you a brief glimpse into what we do on a daily basis. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that we do love our jobs and we love what we do. And so we just want to thank you for your time and your support and your shared belief that investing in the whole child can truly impact individual student success. Thank you.
Mr. Odom,
Mr. Odom and Mr. Blair, if I may do a 30-second commercial. This Saturday, we will have our Child Find, and we will be at Stewartsboro Elementary and Barfield Elementary, and we will open at 9 o'clock and be there from 9 to 2. All of our school social workers will be there, our school psychologists, our speech and language therapists, our vision teachers, our translator. Did I leave anyone out, Lynn? They will all be there, and the doors are open for anyone in our community to bring their children in if they feel like they might have a special need. We'll also be looking for our preschoolers to be part of our preschool programs as our typicals, and so that will be this Saturday, and they'll all be there. And you know, if you would like to be tested, you may come through. We'll check you out. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Odom, did you?
You know, again, and you did include the Special Olympics too, but these are our people who are going into the homes. It's kind of that, people, to reach people, they have to know you care first. And I'll tell you, we have lots of teachers, principals, and people that do. But these people go an extra step and an extra mile. Weekends, after school hours, I hear about and know about, and visiting these people and making a difference in their lives. And that's why they call back later and say to you, now that I'm a little older, I really appreciate what you did for me.
Mr. Odom, if I could say one thing, I've ridden in the truck to go see students with at least one of those folks over there sitting in the front row, and they are very beneficial as a principal. When I was a principal, to help me help my students, and they will go the extra mile. We've done it on a Saturday. We've done it after school, before school, during school. And they spend a lot of time doing the right thing for children, and I want everyone here to know that.
You want, Mr. Holliday?
Probably 80% of the parental contacts that I get as a board member involve an IEP. And there was one number that was in the presentation, 5,491 special ed students. Is that the same number as the number of IEPs? IEPs are higher than that number, right? That's the same number. Okay.
11%.
Wow. Okay. All right. The number of calls that I get from parents that have students, and I have referred them to this group of people, and they have always been well taken care of. The needs have been met. But it's disproportionate, the number of calls that come even to me as a board member. The other thing that I question, sometimes we look at things in policy from the board, and I was thinking, I noticed one of the points of interest is social justice. And I would be interested in understanding more, because sometimes we're challenged as board members between the needs of a minority in our schools versus the majority standard. We want to address that minority need, but at the same time, we have to maintain a majority standard. And that balance is your everyday challenge. Your influence of what you see in the schools and what needs to be addressed, and when that tipping point comes, when a minority interest needs to become something that becomes a majority standard, is so critical for us to understand as board members. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us and share that information and that perspective.
How do you assign to the different schools? In
We'll try to divide them up among the 9 as equally as possible.
You know, with 41,500 plus students, 9 just doesn't seem to be enough. You know, you know, maybe you could change your name from social workers to miracle workers. The other question I did have, and board members jump in too, how do you coordinate your efforts between the Atlas program and what you do? I guess it's probably more than a collaboration. It's actually, you know, you work hand in hand, or a partnership, I presume.
We work hand in hand with Kim Snell. When she has needs, we will work with her with food delivery. Most everyone works with food delivery to get out to the schools. We help her with her poverty simulations if she has a need. We include her in our social work staffing so that she helps us. So we try to work, side by side with her.
Probably some of the people that's watching this on television may not know, when you said Atlas, may not know exactly. That's our homeless program. And Miss Snell was telling me somewhere between 1,000 and 1,100, she was telling me about 3 weeks ago, that are in our Atlas-identified students at this time. And I think she may have been conducting some training today on poverty training at one of the schools.
And that number continues to grow each year exponentially. So, board members, anything else?
Last time you talked to us, you mentioned that you had a child living in a car, and that you had gotten the child out of the car, had found, and you mentioned this. I don't know if it's the same child or not, but you just mentioned it again. I was just wondering, do you know of any families or children that are living in automobiles at the present time, tonight? Okay, thank you. I understand.
Incredible effort and job that you do, and thank you very much. We do appreciate you. Very grateful for your time and effort for these children. Thank you. So I guess we will move on to number 9.
Number 9 is recognition of our wrestling state champions. And I believe we have some of them tonight, and some may come maybe at a time in April, I think. This is one of those sports where not only strength, but skill and balance, so many things are involved in this Olympic sport. So if you were a state wrestling champion, I call your name, would you please step up to the front? Mr. Hayden Hammonds from Eagleville High School. Coach, do you want to come up with him, or how do you? You do.
Hayden Hammonds has been a wrestler for Eagleville for 7 years. Eagleville's had a wrestling team. He's been a wrestler for 5 years. We've had a team for 7 years, and he's a senior this year and started as an 8th grader. And last year he placed 4th in the state at 120 pounds, and this year I thought he was a little crazy. He started off weighing 130 pounds before the season started, dropped to 120. Had only lost one match at that point, and entering the individual tournament, he dropped to 113 pounds and went on to become the region champ, most outstanding wrestler of the tournament, and beat a guy 15-0 that was undefeated at the time, and then went on to become our first Eagleville State Wrestling Champion, and finished the record with 56-1.
Ooh.
That's lots of hours of training, Hayden. Stay put if you don't mind. Is Tyler Garrison here tonight? Okay, Coach.
Good afternoon. I am Tyler's assistant wrestling coach at Blackman High School. I'm the SRO at Blackman Middle School. Tyler started wrestling in 2006 in fourth grade. He wrestled in elementary school and on through middle school. He was a 3-time AAU state champion, 2-time national champion, and a world runner-up. He also represented Team Tennessee 3 times in the national duels. Tyler's freshman year ended the season with a team record as a freshman with 45 wins. His sophomore year, he competed in the Brute Nationals and got 5th place and being named an All-American. Tyler's junior year, he compiled a record of 38 wins and no losses. He was a Region 5 champion at 152 pounds and a state qualifier. He was the number 1 seed going into the state tournament, but he was ruled ineligible by a questionable skin condition. They told him he couldn't wrestle. A little bit upsetting for the coaches. He wasn't as upset as we were, but there's nothing we can do about it. As a senior year, Tyler compiled a record of 55 wins and no losses. He finished his second consecutive undefeated season 93 consecutive wins, a Blackman High School record. He was a Region 5 champion, 160 pounds, and a state qualifier. He won the 2015 Division I AAA 160-pound state championship and was named Outstanding Wrestler in the state of Tennessee. Tyler is a Blackman High and Rutherford County's first four-time region champion, a combined high school record of 181 and 52. He currently holds the school record for the highest winning percentage and also a two-time Dream Team recipient that's voted on by the Tennessee Coaches Association. In the fall of 2015, Tyler will continue his education and wrestle for the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Tyler Garrison.
Congratulations. Is Sean Kennedy here this evening? He may be coming at the next one. Okay. And Nick Boykin, I think he's coming later. Either one of you fellas like to say anything at the mics? Your chance on TV now. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Congratulations, gentlemen. You're exemplary representatives of our system. So, again, can never take a championship away. That's pretty good. All right. We're ready for number 10.
Number 10 is a report from the 2015 Tennessee School Boards Association. This is the SCOPE student delegates. And the Tennessee School Board Association 2015 SCOPE, which is Student Congress on Policies and Education Conference, was held at MTSU on Monday, March 9th, 2015. And our board chairman, Mr. Wayne Blair, was one of the people that was with TSBA in Rutherford County that day. So, Mr. Blair, anything you'd like to say before we give some recognition?
Well, I've participated in the SCOPE for several years, and this board has heard me sing praises of the participation and how much, not only that I enjoyed it, but hopefully the students in getting to be school board members or director of schools, for that morning. And I also brought each board member back a folder that described what the students worked with that day as far as school board issues, and also the debate question that the students took part in that afternoon. So I don't see very many of our SCOPE participants here tonight, but I think we had a good time, and I saw several of them during the course of the day, and I think they enjoyed it. So the ones that are here, maybe we could get a comment on how they enjoyed it. So
future board members?
This is not the proper term, but it's the only thing that I could think that the group that I was with and the other students that I talked to during the course of the day, crazy smart. They were just so very intelligent, articulate. It just made me proud of not only our students here in Rutherford County, but all of these students across the state. To watch their debate just off the cuff and to collaborate and cooperate, it made for a great day for me, and I really enjoyed it.
Allison Powell from Central Magnet School was also the chaperone that day. There she is.
I think you have your hands full tonight, too. Yeah.
Our first one is Megan Gardner.
About your experience?
My experience at SCOPE was so cool. I was a little nervous going in because I didn't really know what to expect, but It was so much fun. I had the opportunity to debate the subject of using social media in the classroom. And at first it was like, that was the one I least wanted, but it ended up being really cool because we could kind of debate the pros and cons. We actually lost our debate. They actually chose not, like the social media wasn't for the classroom, but we tried to kind of debate that YouTube was a great thing, you know, can reinforce or do different things with Skype. I think like our main debate was if you are in a foreign language class, you can Skype members or Skype users from different countries, and you can use your language and see, you know, so we came up with really cool things, like came up with things outside the box. So it was really cool to meet other kids. And
social media with their iPhones and their iPads, and for them not to approve that in the debate was surprising to all of us adults. So.
I think everybody knows social media is a distraction. So in the classroom, it was a hard one to debate. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
None of the rest of the students.
None of the rest, let me read their
Good
names.
job, Megan.
Let me step back to that, we'll read their names again, for recognition if you could. So another one that attended the scope conference was Waja Chandra, Nash Binkley, Cameron Bueller, Jordan Fullerton, Ty Stewart, Brianna Wheeler, and Lauren Schumacher. That was the scope representatives from Rutherford County.
And I suspect they probably couldn't find a parking spot tonight. So, but thank you for chaperoning, and I do hope the students enjoyed the program as much as I have and I do. So again.
Ooh.
So that way we can raise up future leaders.
That was the first time in the 9 years that I participated that I had a Rutherford County student in my group, so I really enjoyed it. He's just, again, central magnet, and I would have to describe him as crazy smart. So
Smart.
Just incredible. So again, thank you, Megan. Thank you for coming tonight too. I didn't have to be all by myself. So good. Okay, number 11.
Number 11 is the AVID program at Smyrna High School. Smyrna High School is looking to continue their agreement with AVID College Readiness System Services, an elective that creates a college-going culture and increases the number of college-bound students. The agreement will require additional funding and teacher positions. Recommend approval. The motion to approve an agreement with AVID College Readiness System Services and support the program at Smyrna High School.
Ms. Brock was here last evening and gave us an overview, and unless there's any other questions, you've heard the motion. Mr. Hodge?
Second.
Mr. Holliday. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 12.
Number 12 is the AVID pathway for Smyrna High School. The instruction department is requesting that AVID 1, 2, 3, and 4 become a pathway option for Smyrna High School, just as Art 1, 2, 3, and 4, or Band 1, 2, 3, and 4 builds and expands each year upon their skills that are begun the first year. AVID also has the same similarities. Recommend approval. The motion to approve instructions request for AVID 1, 2, 3, and 4 to become a pathway option for Smyrna High School.
For the recommendation,
So moved.
Mr. Holliday. Second. And Mr. Young. Any further discussion? Mr. Holliday?
I just want to point out that this is really the fulfillment of a years-long commitment by the school board to put in place a program to help the identity of Smyrna High School. We recognize with the opening of Stewart's Creek High School the challenges that could face us at Smyrna High School with the increased free and reduced lunch population and changing socioeconomic standings, and the administration as well as the counseling staff there at Smyrna High School picked out this program. We're very committed to its benefits for their students, and by putting in place this pathway, this really entrenches that program in Smyrna High School and allows them to have the same type of excellence and standard that we see at the IB program, the AP emphasis at Siegel High School, and those type of things. This program is outstanding. It has a proven track record, and it is excellent for us to have this level of commitment. The previous motion as well, echoes that, but we do need some community support in order to make this happen. We need some additional funding to make this happen, and sometimes that funding could come from private enterprise who may choose to underwrite and attach their name also to this program, similar to what we see with Nissan and Bridgestone tying in with the mechatronics program. So a word of encouragement that the Smyrna community or the entire north end of the county would look for the opportunity and the partnerships to come alongside this worthy academic program and continue to reinforce it for our students.
Thank you, Mr. Holliday. Smyrna High School Principal, Mr. Rick Powell, is with us tonight. We're open for discussion. We heard from Ms. Brock. Was there anything that you'd like to comment, Mr. Powell?
Program, and we know the track record that it's happened in other places that we have seen this work. So we're real excited about trying to continue to expand next year and the year after. But we have to go through the cycle to really see the final evidence that will help for us at Smyrna High School. But where this is in place in other schools, it's phenomenal success, and we're looking forward to having that as well. We appreciate the board's support in letting us continue this program.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. I apologize. I should have brought you to the podium. But maybe everybody can hear you. So. Okay. Yeah. Maybe so. Okay. Everybody's heard the recommendation. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, good. I think we're ready for 13.
13. This is courses offered for credit in grades 9 through 12. Board of Education Policy 4.201 states in part, a listing of courses offered for credit in grades 9 through 12 will be approved annually by the board. Recommend approval. The motion to approve the list of courses for credit in Rutherford County grades 9 through 12 for the 2015-2016 school year as presented. And that's on tab 3. Mr. Zago had a stack. He brought me about an inch or so tall today or more when he was the printed version.
Okay. You've heard the motion, the recommendation, the motion by Mr. Hodge.
Second.
Second by Mr. Holliday. Any further discussion? Did all board members get an opportunity to peruse that list?
Extensive.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Number 14.
Number 14 is special courses requested. The instruction department is requesting permission to make an application to offer credit for special courses under the following guidelines. This is Tennessee Rule 520-1-3-.05-2A, which says local school systems may offer special courses not listed in 520-1-3-.06 on an experimental basis. The Commissioner of Education must approve each course in advance each year. After 3 years, the course may become permanent part of the local school program upon approval by the State Board of Education. After 3 years, the special course request must be resubmitted if the teacher listed on the application changes. So some of the ones you're seeing tonight are resubmissions from prior years too. Recommend approval. The motion is to approve Rutherford County making an application for new special courses to be offered in the named schools at 2015-16 as presented. That's on tab 4.
Heard the recommendation?
So moved.
Mr. Young?
Second.
Mr. Holliday? Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 15, Mr. Odom.
15 is the Blackman High School press boxes and loan. Blackman High School previously requested board approval for construction of press boxes for the baseball and softball teams. The baseball program has almost completed the project, and the softball program would like to begin construction on their project as quickly as possible. Blackman High School softball and baseball booster clubs are seeking approval to obtain a loan in the amount of $26,459.62 to complete both projects. The loan is guaranteed by individuals in the booster organization. The loan will be paid over 5 years, and Blackman High School would agree to move the main operating account for the school to the Wilson Bank and Trust. Wilson Bank and Trust will make an annual donation of $1,500 to Blackman High School as long as the Blackman High School continues to maintain the operating account with the bank. There will be no cost to the board for completion of this project. To recommend approval, the motion is to approve Blackman High School baseball and softball booster organizations to proceed with securing a loan with Wilson Bank and Trust in the amount of $26,459.62 to complete press box construction for the baseball and softball programs at no cost to the board.
Heard the recommendation?
So moved.
Mr. Estes? Second by Mr. Hodge. And we had quite a bit of discussion about this last evening.
I think the
Any further?
WGNS radio broadcast, I believe, from the almost completed Blackman baseball the other night. They said on the air it was really nice, and it was very functional. I wasn't there. So.
We had an invitation to attend, but we had a meeting here, right, Ms. Michaels? I think we did have one.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I struggled with this one last night with the long alphabet, so we'll start with 16A.
Okay, 16A is the DeJarnett Lane Pumping Station property. A motion was brought forward on November 11th, 2014 and approved for the sale of a small easement at the DeJarnett Lane Pumping Station to the city of Murfreesboro for an upgrade to the city to that pumping station for the amount of $670. Mr. Ernest Burgess, County Mayor, forwarded the easement documents to the Property Management Committee, and they voted to deed the county's remaining property at the location to the city for the same cost and within the same deed. The rationale for this action is that the remaining property was a burden on the county from a liability and maintenance standpoint. The special warranty deed for the property of the .8 acres is attached for the board's review. Recommend approval. The motion is to approve the deeding of 0.8 of an acre of property owned by the county to the city of Murfreesboro in the amount of $670 as presented.
Heard the recommendation?
So moved.
Mr. Young?
Second.
And Mr. Hodge. Any further discussion from last night? Was it Mr. Hodge?
No.
Mr. Estes? Okay, I apologize. Ms. Joyce will always catch my error. Okay, no further discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. 16B.
B is John Coleman Elementary School Replacement Building Geotechnical Testing. The Rutherford County Engineering and Construction Department has received a proposal from Terracon to provide geotechnical testing services for the design of John Coleman Elementary School. The proposal includes field exploration, rock exploration, laboratory testing, and an engineering report for the amount of $16,375. These tasks must be performed to evaluate structural designs for footings and slabs on the new school. Terracon has performed several studies for Rutherford County School Board in the past with very favorable results. This is a professional service. Recommend approval. Motion to approve the geotechnical testing proposal by Terracon at a cost of $16,375 on the proposed new John Coleman Elementary School. Geotechnical testing is a professional service.
For the recommendation,
So moved.
Mr. Holliday. Mr. Estes, I got you this time. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And we're to C.
C, Roy Waldron School Additions Geotechnical Testing. The Rutherford County Engineering and Construction Department has received a proposal from Terracon to provide geotechnical testing services for the design of Roy Waldron School Addition. The proposal includes field exploration, rock exploration, laboratory testing, and an engineering report for the amount of $10,000. These tasks must be performed to evaluate structural designs for footings and slabs on the new school addition. Terracon has performed several studies for Rutherford County School Board in the past with very favorable results. This is a professional service. Recommend approval. The motion is to approve geotechnical testing proposal by Terracon at a cost of $10,000 on the proposed Roy Waldron School addition. Geotechnical testing is a professional service.
So moved.
Mr. Holliday and Mr. Young. Any further discussion? Was that just a sound, Mr. Jordan?
I'm just eager to vote yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye and yes.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving to D.
D is the Christiana Middle School offices and locker room. Principal Bob Horn has requested permission to build a multi-purpose locker room and 2 PE offices in the gym storage room for Christiana Middle School. The approximate cost of the renovation will be $3,500. The project will be funded by the school at no cost to the Rutherford County School Board. The space will be shared equally by the girls' volleyball team, which is a fall sport, and the boys' baseball, which is a spring sport. Recommend approval. The motion is to approve construction of a multi-purpose locker room at Christiana Middle School at no cost to the board. The space will be shared equally between boys and girls' sports.
So moved.
Okay. You guys are out of the gate early this time. Okay, any further discussion? You got those, Mr. Jordan. Okay, all right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Odom, I think I'm losing control of this board tonight. Okay, we are now on 16E.
E. This is the Riverdale High School softball building water line. Principal Tom Nolan has requested permission to install a water line to the softball building at the Riverdale campus. Riverdale High School requests permission from the board to install restrooms at a later date. The length of the water line is approximately 150 feet and will be installed at no cost to the Rutherford County School Board. Recommend approval. The motion is to approve installation of approximately 150 feet of water line by the school to the softball building at Riverdale High School at no cost to the board.
For the recommendation?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Hodge and Mr. Holliday. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, 16F.
F is the good one. Y'all may want to mention this. This is a Smyrna Primary School Addition deductive change order. The final cost for the Smyrna Primary School addition and renovations project from Liberty Constructions Company, LLC, is $2,135,279.36. The bid amount for the project is $2,266,500. The final change order amount for the project is a credit of $131,220 The recommended approval of the motion is to approve the final deductive change order from Liberty Construction Company LLC in the amount of $131,220.64.
Recommendation?
So moved.
Mr. Holliday and Mr. Hodge. Any further discussion, Mr. Holliday?
At the risk of any county commissioner thinking that we request more than we need, I talked with Mr. Odom after our meeting last night, and I would like to request that Mr. Odom or the system in some capacity forward this motion this evening to each of the county commissioners by U.S. mail, and a brief note that indicates to them the good stewardship that we have shown here, coming in under budget. I think it's not anything out of the ordinary. It's very typical, but I'm going to ask that we include that, not necessarily as a part of the motion, but just in practice to help us as we continue to make requests to the county commission and highlight to them that we'll bring it in as inexpensively as possible. Majority of the credit to Mr. Clardy and his careful planning. No, and you're welcome to include in there what we're going to do with it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I hope Mr. Odom in the next budget which is coming up pretty quick, will say where that money came from and what project it's going to go on.
Yeah.
And being serious, of course, I think we all realize that that's a very good thing.
Okay. I've particularly been looking forward to 16G. Have we voted?
Got to vote.
We haven't voted. I apologize. I got so excited about Hunter his presentation. Okay. We did get a motion and a second, didn't we? Okay. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Good. Now we'll move on. Mr. Odom to G.
G is the Stewart's Creek High School Legacy Project. Dr. Clark Harrell, principal at Stewart's Creek High School, has requested permission to construct a paved sidewalk at the corners of the front entry of the school. The work will be completed as part of the Interact Club's legacy project designed by student Hunter Bullock. Currently, the existing concrete pad does not handle the large number of students at dismissal, and it creates an eyesore because grass cannot grow, which results in dust and mud being tracked into the building. This legacy project, a service endeavor by the Stewart's Creek High School Interact Club, will be fully funded through donations. Thus, no cost will be incurred by the Rutherford County School Board. Principal Harrell is also requesting approval to employ the use of Stripe credit card processing service so that money can be accepted to streamline the purchasing for those that wish to purchase pavers for the project. The estimated cost of the project is approximately $23,000. Recommend approval. The motion is to approve Stewart's Creek High School Interact Club's legacy project for pavers at the entry of the school at no cost to the board as presented. Dr. Harrell is here if you'd like for him to
Dr. Harrell, please.
introduce.
Yeah, are you just going to turn it totally over to Hunter? Hunter, welcome. Great to see you again. I believe you have a PowerPoint presentation also. Mr. Clardy, if you would, did you bring the large? I would like for the board to see that.
Good evening. My name is Hunter Bullock, and I'm a junior at Stewart's Creek High School. I'm the junior class president and the president of the Interact Club. This is a club that partners with their local Rotary organization to bring leadership and service opportunities to students. I would like to thank you for allowing me to present this project before the board today. Before I get started talking about the project, I'd like to tell you why this project is so important to me. Construction has been a part of my family for many generations. My grandfather owned his own construction company in Warner Robins, Georgia. From car dealerships to churches, my grandfather had a hand in constructing many buildings that created a lively town still thriving today. My dad, Scott Bullock, grew up with my grandfather, going on his job sites and just watching all this construction that he grew to love construction, and went to college at Auburn to study building science. He now works at Robbins and Morton. It's a general contractor out of Birmingham, Alabama. They build mostly hospitals. So going through my life, watching him work, hearing stories about my grandfather, I learned that construction is a vital part of my family and that it's something that runs in our blood and that I really do love more than anything in the world. So I kind of wanted to pull this into the school, and I've worked for my father for the last 2 years at his company. And so the knowledge that I've learned, the experience that I've gotten has prepared me for life and assured me that this is really what I want to do with my life. So this background that I have allowed me to estimate and design a project for our school that will fix problems that we've kind of figured out over the time that we've been there. So the plan we're about to present to you comes from many hours of hard work that Dr. Clark Harrell, Mr. Clayton Ledford, and I have done. So you can kind of see what the issue is. With hundreds of students that come through just the front entrance alone, the existing concrete sidewalk is not sufficient. As seen in the pictures above, grass does not grow, causing mud to be tracked into the school. So you can kind of see up there, you got mud all there, and kids decide to take their shoes and put them off on the columns. So that just makes it even worse. You see some additional pictures here, more mud, and then when it dries out, it's just dust. While we were mapping out the project, a dust storm started. It was really bad. So what's our plan? What do we really want to do with this? Some of you do have the drawings already, so you kind of know, but if you don't, our goal is to create a solution that fixes the existing problem, but also a space where students and families can put their mark on the school. This is how we coined the name The Legacy Project. We wanted to leave a legacy for our school as well as our community. This will be a self-funded project, but how are we going to make this happen? Because, self-funded is kind of hard. So we will sell pavers for $50 to students and future Red Hawks and their families. Businesses will be able to buy pavers at different levels. The levels will be split into 3 sections, red, black, and gray. Red will be in the very front for $300, black in the middle for $200, and gray in the back for $100. I've created a short video rendering of the project so you can kind of see what it's going to look like whenever it gets done, if it gets passed. So the first kind of section of the video will kind of show you what some of the pavers will look like. All of your names are included in there. So we have the big ones for businesses. You can kind of see Sherwin-Williams Company, Sonic, a couple students that I've put in there to show what you can put on there from your club or sport that you're into, in memory of someone. School board members, teachers, everyone can buy one. Boys and Girls Club, Robbins and Morton.
Are your name in there, Mr. Clardy?
Since my name is there already, I don't have to send a check, is that how that works? This is not like Mr. Harrell that I know.
We'll have to see. So we're going to use a cap on top of the wall that we would build that would match the existing Ariscraft stone that's on the building. So it'll all look, and the brick will be the same size as the brick that's on the building. So we're trying to make it look like this has been there since the school opened. We don't want it to look out of place. We want it to match and be perfect like it was been there forever. So you can kind of see, put some people in there, make it look realistic. Okay. So that's the logo that we made up for it. Thank you for allowing me to present this proposed project to you. No matter what your decision is, we really do appreciate your effort to bring us in so quickly. I know we were going to have to wait a while, and now that we got it in so quickly, it's really a blessing from y'all. So do y'all have any questions that I can answer?
How soon after college do you want to start to work here? Mr. Clark? Clardy can use you, I'm pretty sure.
And I think Mr. Clardy is responsible for actually wanting your presence here to make this presentation. I think he's impressed sometimes, but I don't think he's been as impressed by somebody as young as you.
Maybe we could use him for the rest of the year training the principals on how to put on stuff.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a question for Hunter. I want to know what college has been lucky enough to get you.
I'm a junior right now, so right now it's between Mississippi State and Auburn.
I think they'll be fighting tooth and nail this week.
Yes,
I'd like to add, it's a very impressive presentation you put together here.
thank you.
I know your dad is extremely proud of you, and as well as Dr. Harold too. So again, thank you. You're a fine example of the students that we have here in Rutherford County. Thank you.
Future's in good hands with people like this.
Mr. Clardy outlined that the presentation is complete and in order, and to his liking, I raise the motion as it's presented.
Okay. A motion by Mr. Holliday. Second by Mr. Hodge. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You have your project, sir.
Thank you so much.
16H.
This is the Whitworth Buchanan Middle School Archery Building. Principal AVID Seymour has requested permission to construct a 90-foot by 150-foot pre-engineered metal building on a concrete slab on the Whitworth Buchanan campus. The building would be used as an archery building for practice and tournaments. The estimated cost of the building is $550,000 to $600,000 and will be designed by Picklesheimer Roberts Architecture. The school will be responsible for compliance to all codes, utility installation, the purchase of the building permits, all labor and material, and all other associated costs at no cost to the Rutherford County School Board. Funds will be raised through grants, donors, and charitable organizations. There are no gender equity issues since both boys and girls will be using the building. Rutherford County Schools Engineering and Construction Department has overseen the design of the building site to prevent conflict with the overall site plan, including the high school and associated sports facilities. Recommend approval. The motion is to approve the Whitworth Buchanan Middle School Archery Building as presented at no cost to the board. And Ms. Seymour is here this evening also.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Moore.
I'll second. I did go back, Mr. Chairman, and look at the Post this past Sunday, and they had a tournament there, and I understand it was in, where's Ms. Seymour?
Ms. Seymour, would you come forward,
Seymour, was
please?
it in your gymnasium? Okay, there were 46 teams. Stewart's Creek, no. Yes, that's right. Stewart's Creek Middle School won the middle school. Buchanan Elementary won the elementary, and Central, in this particular tournament, that they had a picture of Stewart's Creek in there. Central won the high school. We were just talking last night, Ms. Seymour, how this sport has just absolutely exploded. I don't know how you got all those people in your gym. I don't have any idea how you did that, but anyway, that must have been a sight to see, all those people, I guess. 46 schools. Anyway, I just wanted you to know, we talked about it last night, and I couldn't remember. I just said that Stewart's Creek had won something, I thought, and well, that's what I know.
Board members, since Ms. Seymour is here, does any board member have any questions of Ms. Seymour?
Not necessarily to Ms. Seymour, although I will commend you. I understand there was some reference toward some business partnership that may be taking place in this, and recruiting that and facilitating that is always a challenge, and thank you so much for the efforts there. We need those kind of business partners that come alongside and help us with projects like this. The other thing is that I didn't take note last night, Mr. Clardy, the reference here to Picklesheimer and Roberts Architecture, but then our interests with Binkley Garcia and the master plan for the whole, you're comfortable that the two entities can work together, particularly on the site plan and placement?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great.
And I think, Ms. Seymour, that we've just been amazed at, like I said before, how this activity has grown and become so popular, and Rutherford County has become so successful at it too. So we're pleased with the partnership. Did you have?
Ms. Seymour, and I spoke or said something to the board last night, and I want to make sure that I didn't speak out of turn, but if I'm not mistaken from what I've heard, the facility is going to enable other schools to be able to have it as a practice
ma'am.
location.
Absolutely.
So, which I thought was really terrific as well, so.
I think Ms. Carmichael and Ms. George, their sort of thought process is it's a wonderful sport, and it's wonderful for kids who are not necessarily really good at other sports. They can not only participate in it, but excel at it and just be really wonderful archers. So their thought is to expand it throughout the county and share this facility with all schools in the county.
I think from what I've heard, and the way the sport's growing, it's a great opportunity for the whole county school system and for Murfreesboro too, especially with big corporate sponsors, the revenue and the people that it'll bring into our town. So, and I'm particularly proud that Whitworth is going to be spotlighted in doing that. So thank you very much.
Ms. Seymour, you know that I'm sometimes asked very bad questions, so this is unfair, but you know me a long time. You have any idea what the percentage of girls and boys in this sport? I mean, have we got one girl, or have we got 50 at Whitworth, or do you know?
Based on the number of pink bow boxes that I see going down the hall, I would say that it's pretty evenly matched. And they really go with, she starts with a club of about 75 in my school, and then she narrows it down to her state tournament. But the tournament that we had that couple of weeks ago, that was the second largest tournament in the state of Tennessee, and it will only be exceeded by the state tournament itself. So.
Wonderful.
I don't want to go to a negative place here, but what you just said just brought to mind a question. Pink bow boxes going down the hallway. And we have a zero tolerance for weapons. How do you work that out?
We have a room. They just walk them down the hall. There are no arrows with them. The arrows are secured in a completely and totally different place, and the kids bring the bows in. They are in a locked room next to Miss Carmichael's room. We have a maintenance room that we can put those in, and that's the only place they go. And like I said, there's no arrows with them at all. They're only the bow.
I think that's so critically important that as we potentially expand this throughout the county, that we have very, very careful, specific, and well-trained regulations about that, because the last thing I want to see is a student well-intending, they practiced or something and they left an arrow in their case or something of that nature, and all of a sudden it comes before the board, because it comes before the board before it's a final thing on a zero-tolerance weapons violation or something like that. I just don't want to see that happen. If you find that the board needs to put in place some type of specific language for this program so that we can continue this, please advise us.
Okay. I think at this point, the instructors that are the archery sponsors, they have to go through and follow all NASP rules, and therefore all the students have to follow said rules as well. So, that's always a source of concern for us, but that is not a problem because those two things are never together, okay? Except for at practice, and then there's strict rules that are followed there as well.
We have a motion and a second, and we've had discussion. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Ms. Seymour, good to see you, and appreciate you letting Mr. Seymour tag along with you. Okay, 17, I don't think we have anything further on that due with Ms. Barnes. I think we covered that last night. Okay. So number 18 is the Legislative Network with Mr. Hodge.
I don't have a whole lot to elaborate on other than
everybody another piece of good news, I guess. I don't know if anyone's had a chance to read it, but it's another voucher bill for 120,000 special needs students to attend private schools. If you read the article, you'll notice that the Beacon Center is involved with it, and most of you are probably familiar with the Beacon Center, what they basically deal with, and it's against the public education. So it looks like it's going to be something else that's going to take more tax dollars away from the public system, and it's I just wish there was something our legislative body would do. I wish they would have introduced some kind of bill to be against some of this stuff, but unfortunately, that's not what we're faced with now. But on top of the bills I gave you yesterday, realistically, a lot of this stuff that's passed or that they're voting on down there doesn't benefit us any. And if anything, I believe it's going to end up costing us more money as we go along. And but I thought this was, I saw this one today from TSBA, matter of fact, on the way out here. And when I got here, Mr. Oldham had just saw it too, so I decided I'd run a copy and let everybody see it.
This one truly is detrimental to public education. The previous bill, they said, wouldn't affect but the 4 larger metropolitan areas, but this opens the door wide open with this one.
Oh, it's going to be something all the time that's going to piggyback onto this. I don't care whether it's this session, next session, or whatever. I'll just state the facts that we're not getting any help on it, and it's going to cost us big time. I mean, not only the school system, but I can pretty well assure you it's going to be taken away from the teachers and everything else, and it's going to have an effect on us. And we just have to see. I would challenge each board member to just evaluate your legislators and see where they stand on these issues, and you'll be surprised. And it's hard to accept, but that's the way it is, and that's what we've got to fight for. So, anybody have any questions on any of the ones I gave last night, or comments?
I probably made too many comments last night, but I'd say this, Ms. Hodge, I think there's some people, a number of people evidently on Capitol Hill, that think that this education business is easy. You just throw it out there and set yourself up a school, and by golly, you'll just be in wonderful shape, and you'll educate those children just much better than anybody else. And I think everybody in this room knows that is absolutely not true.
I think it's important to unpack a little of the language here, because what this article, and Terry, thanks for sharing this with us because it's so informative, but what this article is pointing out is this would just be a voucher program for somebody who has an IEP. And in the article, it even says that this is, such as a learning disability, hearing trouble, or speech impairment. But IEPs are also our high-achieving students. Now, we're going to take 120,000 students across the state of Tennessee, but no, not 120,000. We're only going to cap it at 20,000. And are we going to take those who are hearing impaired or learning disabled or those things where the collective effort that is available in public schools is the way that those students have the ability to be able to achieve and get the special needs, special attention that they need? Or is it going to be the 20,000 high-achieving students that happen to have an IEP for over and above effort that are going to be taken out and their influence taken out of the public school system? The language here would lead the public to think that this is for the school for the blind or the school for the deaf or something of that nature. But when you unpack the terminology and understand that the IEP is also there for the high-achieving student, but there's no restriction, and there's only 20,000, and who will take advantage of it most, and the detriment that it will be to public education, it's absolutely the wrong move.
Well said, Mr. Holliday.
I'd just like to say, I drafted an email to the legislators back on March 2nd, and I think Mr. Jordan said last night, he's not only gotten one response in 9 years, and I haven't gotten any response about any of these issues. It's very frustrating. So, you know, I think we as the board is going to start challenging our constituents out there to start contacting the legislators, let them know powers and numbers, let them know that this is something we don't want. We want our boards, we want our students to control our local school.
And hopefully we can empower our teachers, our staff members, our principals, administrators, and our parents, you know, to contact our legislators and demand that they support public schools, the public education system, in Rutherford County in particular here. So, since we have as a board sent resolutions to our legislators, I would strongly recommend, and just as Mr. Hodge said, even if we don't get answers, let's continue to reach out to them and let them know how we feel about some of this legislation and tell them why we object to it and why we're opposed to it.
I'd also like to mention that I went and stopped with our legislators. I would look at some of these who are sponsoring these bills and go after them. And it may not mean a whole lot, but at least I'm doing my part to let them know how I feel as a school board member, but also get it off my chest too. So.
Yes, sir.
You know, as I told our group when we last met with them, I'll debate with them any day, vouchers and charter schools anytime, and I really believe that, and that's just the way I feel about it.
Thank you, Mr. Hodge.
If this state legislation passes, along with Senator Alexander's legislation with the Title I schools, the portability of the money, being able to take wherever they go, and then this go with it, you're just about going to kill some of your Title I schools.
No doubt. No doubt. Good. All right.
Not like these people do not understand public education. I was just sitting here trying to think. I know 3 of them for certain attended public education in Rutherford County. Now, there's a couple of them I do not know where they went to elementary school or high school. I mean, it's not like they, I mean, you were a state legislature, wouldn't you think, well, maybe my public education had something to do with that? I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, wouldn't you think so?
Yes, you would. Okay, Holiday, federal relations.
Mr. Odom and I had a conversation last night, and the nature was along the lines that I don't know if a reauthorization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act is going to get any traction after all. And then today, there was a discussion and comment from both the House and Senate that they are attempting to move forward. So Representative Klein, who chairs the House Education Committee, is looking for the possibility of debate and possibility of a vote sometime next week, so be aware of that. The legislation has not changed much since 2012, and I really think that that's to the detriment, because the landscape and the opinion of the American public has changed quite a bit from 2012 to today. And I think that that's why that legislation in the House has been delayed somewhat. Senator Alexander is looking to start the conversation in the Senate Health and Education, Labor and Pensions Committee and start that discussion in the coming week, but he's really looking for the week of April 13th to get it marked up and start moving it toward a floor debate. So that's kind of the timetable of what's going on with really the one key piece of legislation that the federal government has. But along those lines, I wanted to bring a couple of things to everyone's attention, because sometimes I think when we interact with the public, we say maybe the good thing is for them to do nothing. And I personally, and I will share this as a personal opinion, for them to do nothing is really not what we need. We need them to do something. We just need them to do the right thing. On the right thing, the questions that they're looking to answer: annual testing requirements, that's a federal issue. How to use the result of those tests in accountability standards, and what is going to be the impact of a target school or a failing school or something of that nature. That is open for debate. Flow of Title I dollars, as Jim Estes has already said, that's something that is open for debate. And quite frankly, we kind of like it the way it is. Mr. Odom has expressed to me personally before. And then also including specific language about early childhood education in this legislation, because that has always been a separate issue with Head Start and those kind of programs. So if that gets rolled into this as well. Along those lines, I think it's important for us to know and understand that the first authorization of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act back in 1965 rolled through for a period of years up until 1978, and it was adjusted a little bit in 1978 and made it all the way then to 1980, at which time it was into a continuing resolution circumstance. The reason I bring this up is because we've been in that continuing resolution circumstance with the reauthorization of this since 2007. And that's really the failure of Congress, for us to be in a continuing resolution circumstance, where the same legislation, No Child Left Behind, that was put in place in 2001 is still in effect, and yet it's being dismissed on federal waivers. So let me go through the timeline again. 1965 to 1978, adjusted in 78, made it to 80. By 81, they had reauthorized again. The legislation in 81 took us to 1988, when there was another reauthorization. In 93, that expired, but by 94, they had reauthorized it again. In 94, they really started the idea of federal accountability and testing all the students and having a national perspective on how we're doing and data that back that up. So then we get to 2001, where they say No Child Left Behind, and that goes into place until 2007. But since then, we've been on this federal waiver program. It's in that federal waiver program that we have seen the overreach of the Department of Education. From 2007 to 2015, when the public says, we don't want a national curriculum, we don't want a national influence, we don't want a national school board, that has taken place between 2007 and 2015, not by the action of Congress, but by their inaction. And that's the critical measure. It's important for Congress to act on this, but it is equally important for them to act correctly and responsibly. For them not to act leaves in place the appointed Secretary of Education to individually negotiate with the states for these federal waivers and write in policy and write in curriculum mandates, write in curriculum influence that we've seen happen between 2007 and 2015. That's really where we've gotten off track, and I just wanted to point that out and make sure that we kind of understood there have been good things that the federal government have done. School lunch programs, evening the playing field between the states, making sure that impoverished communities had federal dollars to help their education programs. Those have been good influences by the federal government. However, from 2007 to 2015, we've been on a downhill track with the federal government's influence. We've got to right that ship because the federal dollars are a part of the equation. So hopefully we'll stay observant and influence our congressmen and senators appropriately.
Mr. Holliday, any questions for Mr. Holliday?
May I make one follow-up statement?
Please, Mr. Odom.
Tennessee is in the process now of submitting a new waiver. A failure to submit a new waiver because it expires, ours is expiring this year, would mean we would go back under the original No Child Left Behind criteria, which is 100% now, by the number of years, is 100% proficiency by everybody. So on the State Department of Education website right now, you can see kind of the waiver application that Commissioner McQueen and the State Board are working on at this time. So that has to go in around the 1st of April. So, I mean, we're within about a week or so that Tennessee has to submit its waiver application for approval, again, by the U.S. Department of Education and the commissioner there. So it's in process right now, and you can see it on the State Department of Education website.
Thank you, Mr. Odom. Yes, Mr. Jones.
I think it's time for us to draft our own bill and carry it to our legislators and have them to carry it to Nashville and see if they can get what we want as a school board. Let's just cut to the chase and let's draft our own bill. Challenge of the day.
Maybe a workshop item pretty quick. Anything else? We're going to move to general discussion. Does anybody have anything tonight? We've had kind of a long meeting as it is. Okay, well, good. We've had a really good meeting on celebrating a lot of talent, and I've enjoyed the time we've had here tonight. In honor of former Chairman Rick Wise, I'm going to end on his note. If all minds are at ease, we stand adjourned.